In today's video, I'll be installing this hidden hitch 2-inch receiver on the 2000 Ford E150 cargo van. The first thing I need to do is move the charcoal canister, which is mounted on the inside of the driver's side frame rail. And to move it out of the way, all I have to do is remove these two 1/2-inch nuts. After reading through the instructions, I laid the hardware out for both sides. I also noticed that they shorted me one nut in the hardware kit. Luckily, I had another one that would fit left over from a previous project. According to the directions, we'll be using the two oval holes in the frame, as well as this last round hole toward the end of the frame rail. And it's the same on both sides. The front hole gets the carriage bolt and the backing plate that has the square hole in it for the carriage bolt. I'll go ahead and put that one in place. The middle hole gets the smaller backing plate and just the standard hex head bolt. And then the round hole at the end of the frame rail just gets this thick washer and the standard hex head bolt. I'm going to go ahead and lay these bolts out on both sides like this so that I can lift the hitch in place and just hold it up with a couple nuts. Then I'll work on getting the spacers that are going to go between the hitch and the frame, which it gets the large spacer on the middle bolt as well as the front bolt, and then the rear bolts just get this large flat washer. Then of course, once the hitch is installed, they all get the washer and the nut. Now that the hitch is in place, I just loosely installed the nuts on each bolt just to hold it up in the air, and then I'll go back one by one, remove the nut, pull the bolt up so that I can fit the spacers in between, and then reinstall the nut and the washer, and I'll just do that for each one. After I installed all the spacers where the directions said to, I realized the hitch wasn't sitting quite right, and as you can see here, at least on this 2000 model E150, the frame rail slopes up right here. The spacer was fine on that center bolt, and the washer's okay for the rear, but with the spacer in place on the front bolt, it actually held the front down too far, having that in there. And if I would have tightened up this center bolt, it would have either bent the frame rail down to the flange on the hitch or bent the flange up. So I just simply removed the spacer from the front mounting location, and it sits perfect now. I've already snugged up the bolts. Now I'll just use the torque wrench and tighten them down according to whatever specifications are in the instructions. Now that all the fasteners are torqued to 75 foot-pounds, as specified in the instructions, all we have left is reinstalling the vapor canister, and we're finished.